During the Trump administration, we saw the development of a completely new public philosophy, which is that government is not an instrument of the common good and the public interest. Government is an instrument for private self-enrichment, for the guy who gets in, for his family, for his private businesses. I have been, begging my colleague, Chairman Comer, for us to do a serious analysis of what the laws should be about money making.
And you would take part in a serious investigation?
Yes, of course we would. And we're going to release a report about all of the foreign government emoluments, millions of dollars we can document that Donald Trump pocketed at the hotels, at the golf courses, through business deals when he was president, and that his family got.
Congressman Jamie Raskin announcing that Democrats are working on a report detailing the millions, potentially billions of dollars that the disgraced ex-president and his family pocketed from foreign governments while he was in the White House, of which it seems we're really only learning about the tip of the iceberg. Joining our coverage, Democratic Congressman Eric Swalwell of California. This has been sort of an open secret. I mean, I think former White House Chief of Staff John Kelly has talked about Jared's focus on foreign governments. I think that Jared Kushner has made no secret about getting billions of dollars from Middle East governments where he was directly in charge and really usurped the authority of some secretaries of state. Why hasn't this been investigated before?
Well, greetings, Nicole. And I come to you from Livermore, California, at a construction trailer for a homeless housing project to add to the collection of interesting places where you've had me on. But I'm glad you want to talk about this, because the real issue here is that Democrats are finally going on offense and playing on the Republican side of the field. If you recall, what Jamie Raskin was referring to is actually a considered issue for impeachment for Donald Trump. We believe that there was, the goods on him for cashing in on the presidency with his hotels, with the business deals, with his daughter seeking trademarks over in China while he was president and she was working at the White House. And so this is where we have to stay with these guys. And what they do and what Comer does is they accuse us, President Biden, of exactly what they were doing, because they think that, well, if we were doing this, if we were benefiting and monetizing our time at the White House, of course the Democrats are doing that. So they're projecting their corruption onto us. And so the 3D approach that I've been pitching to my colleagues was to discredit them from the beginning, show that you can't have a conversation about President Biden and his family until you want to be really honest about what happened with Donald Trump and his, defend President Biden where BS accusations are made, and then always, always, always pivot to the third D, which is delivery, what we delivered while we were in the majority, and when we go back into the majority, what we will deliver. And this is all in that spirit. I'm so happy that Ranking Member, soon-to-be Chairman Raskin, is doing this.
The danger seems to be allowing them to make an equivalency. I mean, the truth is that Hunter Biden's been under investigation by a Trump-appointed, attorney, U.S. attorney, for 5 years. There's never been any threads that tie anything to Joe Biden. No one's ever criminally investigated the exploitation or the pay-to-play of the Trump family.
That's right, Nicole. And the Republicans, my MAGA colleagues like Comer and Jordan and McCarthy, are losing their minds that Merrick Garland has given them exactly what they asked for. And they asked for, a couple months back, a special counsel in the Hunter Biden investigation. And they wanted that special counsel to be Donald Trump's appointee, and Merrick Garland has done exactly that. And again, there's no equivalence here. What is alleged between Hunter Biden and his father are conversations between Hunter Biden and his father when Joe Biden was not president, and all evidence suggests that, like any father would, he's talking to his son, asking him how his fishing is going, asking him, just things that a father would talk to his son about. And here you have son-in-law, daughter cashing in on their own father being in the White House. There's no equivalence, and that's why it's so important, as I said, to start playing on their side of the field and not even accepting that there is legitimacy to this.